July 2026 was supposed to be a historic celebration for America's 250th birthday. Across the country, millions packed their coolers, crowded onto highways, and prepared for nationwide festivities and ongoing World Cup matches. Before we get into exactly what went wrong, tell us in the comments, what city or state are you watching from right now? Those expectations of a national party were met with empty streets, locked gates, and a wave of sudden cancellations. The centerpiece of the semi-quincentennial was the Great American State Fair on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. By midday, its massive Ferris wheel stood motionless over rows of abandoned white tents. A brutal heat wave was suffocating the eastern seaboard, driving the heat index up to a deadly 115 degrees. Drop one word in the comments. When it comes to summer, do you prefer it hot or cold? By Saturday, the scale of the emergency had shifted from canceled festivities to a massive power grid crisis, pushing 160 million people toward a total blackout. Meteorologists trace the origin of this event to an atmospheric anomaly known as a heat dome. Looking at this 3D map, you can see the mechanics in action. High pressure in the atmosphere acts like an invisible glass lid, trapping oven-hot air directly over the eastern United States. Because the air cannot escape, the sun continuously bakes it. This constant heating loop drives surface temperatures higher, pushing the heat index, the measure of how the air feels on human skin, past the 115-degree threshold. At these temperatures, people often joke about frying an egg on the sidewalk, but in reality, you'll just end up with a mess on the concrete. Tell us in the comments with one word, what's your favorite holiday tradition, fireworks or parades? A heat dome of this magnitude weaponizes the environment, turning a normal summer afternoon into a lethal hazard for anyone caught outdoors. On the ground, the sustained baking heat rapidly accelerated severe drought conditions across multiple states. Vegetation dried out and became ready fuel. Across the country, over 36,000 wildfires burned simultaneously, a total 157% above the historical average. With forests and fields completely parched, local governments issued mandatory bans on fireworks. A single stray spark could have incinerated entire neighborhoods. Have you ever personally experienced a summer blackout? Answer yes or no in the comments below. To escape the searing heat, millions of people retreated indoors at the same time, cranking their air conditioning units to maximum capacity. This synchronized demand for electricity placed a heavy strain on regional power systems all across the eastern seaboard. Faster, more urgent Hermit. 160 million Americans were now caught in a grid emergency. If the system collapsed, they would face total darkness and 100-degree indoor temperatures without any way to cool down. A total blackout was narrowly avoided. Emergency officials managed the electrical load through strategic triage and resource deployment. To protect populations without air conditioning, cities mobilized and opened specialized cooling centers across the East Coast. Major cultural events also adapted. In Massachusetts, the Boston Pops delayed their performance into the cooler evening hours to ensure audience safety. Human determination held strong. Despite formal parade cancellations, tourists still gathered at Independence Mall to see the Liberty Bell and mark the holiday. Surviving the 2026 heat wave required a shift in collective behavior, relying on rapid infrastructure mobilization rather than traditional outdoor gatherings. When temperatures reach these levels, the primary survival tactic is simple. Stay indoors during the peak heat hours of 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Continuous hydration is critical. Your body needs pure water to regulate its temperature, but sugary drinks can actually dehydrate you further, increasing the risk of heat stroke. Safety also relies on community responsibility, respecting local burn bans, and physically checking on elderly or vulnerable neighbors who may be at higher risk. Leave one last comment below. Type water or soda, and summer or winter. Let's see the final results. The 2026 heatwave dictated a new logistical reality. Daytime celebrations were traded for nighttime performances, and city buildings functioned as a survival network. Modernizing our power grids and respecting nature's physical limits are now requirements for continuing our national traditions safely. Please share this video to help keep your friends and family safe this summer, and hit that subscribe button before the timer on screen runs out. To see how a single spark can ignite a massive and uncontrollable wildfire, click the video on your screen right now. I'll see you there.